really aspire to make sure that my music is always honest, because that way people can relate to me. I want people to feel like they can identify with what I'm singing and feel like even when they feel like no one around them relates, Kezia in Brampton relates. So yeah, that's really important to me. My name is Kezia Music. I am an R&B singer from Brampton, and you are watching my session with Off the Record. How important is it for Canadian artists to support one another? Are people sleeping on Brampton artists? Okay, so I definitely feel like it is pretty important for Canadian artists to support each other. There's so much community and beauty that can come from working together and just putting each other on and pulling that next person that's coming after you. And I feel like with more unity, we could probably make it a lot further. Are people sleeping on Brampton artists? I definitely feel like people tend to sleep on Brampton artists. Brampton is kind of like the underdog, but the people who are representing for Brampton right now are doing an amazing job, and we are slowly getting up there. Which famous musicians do you admire? Okay, I would say it's hard because there are a lot of musicians that I admire for different reasons. I love performing, so my number one inspiration in terms of performing will always be Beyonce. She's incredible. And I also really love and admire Jhené Aiko. She's always been my inspiration in terms of writing. She's always just been so raw and honest, and I really aspire to make sure that my music is always honest, because that way people can relate to me. I want people to feel like they can identify with what I'm singing and feel like even when they feel like no one around them relates, Kezia in Brampton relates. So yeah, that's really important to me. Talking Shit is more of a grittier song compared to the other songs you've released. What or who inspired that song? So, when I created Talking Shit, it was originally called Intro, and it was meant to be the intro for my EP. I had a friend who was really on my ass about my music and releasing and creating, because if you've been following me for a minute, you know sometimes I can disappear. And they were on me, and I was telling them, you know, I have some stuff, don't worry, I'm coming. And I played them Intro, and they were like, yeah, this is great, but what if it was like a trap song? Have you ever thought of that? And I was like, no one wants to hear trap from me. That's not my brand. And they literally went on their phone, they picked a random beat, and they're like, do what you just did over this beat. And I did, and that's literally how Talking Shit was born. It originally didn't have that whole, let me tell my shit, hook thing at the end. It was just like the beginning, the intro, and then they were like, oh, you're talking your shit. So then I threw that in at the end, and it became really, really special to me. I'm really grateful for that experience, because it definitely shaped the artist I am now. And now I just give less F's about creating, and I feel like there's no more limits. I don't have to say, oh, they don't want to hear that from me. They're gonna hear whatever I make, and if they don't like it, they can listen to another song. So, yeah. Nigerian jollof or Ghanaian jollof? I'm Ghanaian, and I love my mommy's jollof, and I'm gonna leave it there. If you could perform at any festival, which would it be? Honestly, I would love to perform at Afro Nation. I feel like that festival just seems like such a vibe and so beautiful. Like, it just oozes beauty. I love it. That's something I would love to be a part of. What is your creative process like when writing a song? So my creative process, I don't know if it's the most traditional creative process, but I really just write whenever I feel inspired. The other day I was going through like my high school notes, and I saw a bunch of lyrics at the back of like my math tests and stuff like that, and I'm like, this is why my grades were what they were. Because instead of studying, I was writing songs on my math test. But whenever I feel inspired, I literally have to write in that moment. And when I am like setting time aside to write, I usually just re-listen to the beat and I think, what does this make me feel? And I listen to it a couple times, and whatever it makes me feel, whatever words come to mind, I just start singing them. And then I record it on voice memo, and I listen back, and I'm like, okay, there's the song. So yeah, I don't know. I try to keep it as organic as possible. And lastly, what's next for Kezia? I do have a single coming out very soon. It's called Tonight. I love it. The song is really special to me. I feel like it's fun, and I haven't done a song like that since Back Up, and that song is old as hell. So it's time. It's time for Kezia to get out of her feelings and start having a little more fun again. So I'm really excited for that. Once again, my name is KEZIAA Music. I am an R&B singer from Brampton. You can follow me everywhere at KEZIAA Music, and you can stream my music anywhere you like to listen to music at KEZIAA Music, 2 A's. Thank you for watching my session with Off the Record.